I thought what was important, we looked at our business about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's not just us, we're all in this industry, to look at some of the trends that are going on. And I guess this is half a step back from where we've ended up with Paul. But I think we could all agree, and I won't go into all of this, it's pretty obvious. I'm sure you get it drilled down your throats by vendors day in, day out, but things have changed. Applications and data are in the cloud or in data centers. Cybersecurity is critical. Hopefully we don't have to convince anyone of that. And users are everywhere. I think that's the new world that's gonna stay as we move forward. But what we're seeing is kind of three drivers that are underpinning, I guess, this change. One is around consolidation. And I'll go further on that in a second, but really the fragmented approach we've got at the moment just isn't working. The second is regulation. I think no matter what industry you're in, the regulation is increasing, month by month. And thirdly, probably on the more positive side, is there is a lot of new, new approach coming to market in terms of actually running this entire thing as a platform. I think networking and security are very late to the game. If you look at, I guess, Azure, AWS, these platforms have been around for a long time, and the industry that we work in is finally catching up. So just to expand on these 3 points, I guess the cybersecurity market in particular, if you look at it today, and we definitely are part of this, so I'm not saying what people have done is incorrect, but what we all would have done over the last few years is gone out and bought particular point products to resolve particular issues. And you'd probably draw your own path through this table. These, I think, are roughly the top 5 in Gartner. But the problem we've then got is, we're sitting with all these different point products that presumably your team or possibly your MSSP have to try and stitch together to protect your environment. I'm not going to go through these statistics if you haven't read the news this morning, but presumably someone else has been hacked. But look, there is a lot of, I guess, bad things happening out there. I had a conversation with another customer the other day, and I think everyone's in agreement this problem isn't going away. So we have to address it. It is just a new business risk. We need to treat it as such and invest in it. The other part, which I guess is causing the tension at the same time, has been very interesting to watch, I guess, from our point of view as a provider. The second directors became directly liable for cyber breaches. It's very interesting how budgets have increased. But that's just been fun to watch. But I guess at a more pragmatic level, what we're seeing, no matter what industry, and we've got a couple of finance customers that now have to adhere to CPS 234. Obviously, Paul's touched on ISO and FFR already. So I guess the way I look at it is just the tension is increasing as to how you have to drive your business, the tools you have to have in place, the governance you have to have in place. So this is difficult to do with that kind of point product environment. And then to add to it, obviously, the time in which you have to notify breaches come down as well. So it's just getting tighter and tighter every year. So I guess where at Enablis we see this, and I guess Paul's brought into it with us, is, we need a new approach. What we've been doing historically just isn't working and isn't relevant in the new world that we find ourselves in. So this is, I guess, where we're going as a business, is looking at consolidation of, I think the new term is platformization, or however you pronounce that properly, with a Z or an S. But ultimately what we're looking to do is to combine all of these capabilities, and it is across a single vendor. But then our view is that we can actually meet the requirements that businesses have, rather than spending all of our time and energy trying to integrate all these different tools to get an outcome. So what this looks like at a high level, that this is sort of our recipe book, as I put it that way, where we sit down with our customers and we'll walk through, where they are today, but this is where we want to get them to. What Paul has covered off today in SASE is that bottom right-hand corner, the blue box. So that's what I'm going to expand on in a minute. But the journey we want to take our customers on is, get that bottom box, get your connectivity and security controls in place. Then you actually need to start looking at what's going on in your environment, and then you have to have the capability to respond to it. So that's the path that we're working through with most of our customers.